video, but I want to share this, with my friends and followers, because this is a really important thing. You know, all my friends know I live totally off grid, so I'm not trying to act like I'm, I am the know-it-all, but I am walking the walk and talking the talk. I actually do live 100% off grid, not only with electricity but with water as well. But this time, I'm talking about freezers. Now, recently I purchased a deep freezer, a 5 cubic foot Frigidaire freezer, which I'm running off grid, which is that one. Okay. Um, I paid about two. I think it was about 280. So they run around 280. I'm running it off grid. Okay. So as you can see, I'm totally off grid, and I'm running it off of this 1,000 watt inverter. Okay, mind you, this is a modified sine wave. None of my inverters are pure sine wave. Now, the reason why I'm stressing that is because a similar freezer, um, like the one I have, if it were a 12-volt freezer, it could easily cost you $700-800. And we as preppers and as off gridders, we always incline to use 12 volts appliances so that we don't have to use an inverter, and which is less efficient, etc., etc. But due to the nature of all of this, I mean, I have a small system, relatively small system, but approximately 1,200 watts, which is not really big. I run my entire house on this. I run my TVs, my fans, everything. And I was really thinking about it. I said, I bought this freezer, which is not a 12-volt freezer. It's a regular 120 volt, 5 cubic inch Frigidaire freezer. You could pick one up like that one at any Home Depot hardware store nearby. I believe it wastes about maybe 1.4 amps. But the thing is, it doesn't run all the time, and and that's what people have seem to understand. They don't run all the time. They're more efficient than refrigerators, because when you open up a refrigerator, all of the cold comes out and falls out of the fridge and goes down. When because cold falls down to the ground, heat rises. So when you open up a deep freezer, the cold is already stays down. So just that point alone helps it stay cold. The temperature will maintain itself, especially if you have put a lot of frozen food in there. So I run that deep freezer all night, 24/7, off grid, with a small solar system and a small modified sine wave inverter, and it's working flawlessly. So I say to myself, thank God I didn't spend $800-900 in a 12-volt freezer when this $200+ regular home freezer works for me. Now, that being said, if you are uh, off grid, like on a trailer, like trailer meaning a mobile home, and you're like traveling and stuff, I am not aware of whether or not these the compressors can stand that kind of um, situation. It probably can. But I'm talking to you about like the home off grid situation. If I were like a person that was traveling in a trailer, I still would probably go that route and just get a regular freezer. These 12-volt freezers, they are extremely expensive. And even though, yeah, they are more efficient and you don't need an inverter to run them, but at the same time, I mean, what you're saving in terms of money, and saving in terms of you know like the lack of efficiency, it's so minimal that it really, I don't think it's worth the expense. I mean, because I figure right now, I bought this freezer, you know let's round it off, $300 freezer, and It could have cost me, if it was 12 volt, 800, 900. Hey, I could just buy an extra 100-watt solar panel for 50, $60 and make up the difference of lack of efficiency. You know what I mean? So that being said, guys, I mean, like I said, I don't think that I know it all, but I would like to, I wanted to share this because I mean it's worked amazing for me. 121 with an inverter, small inverter, doesn't even have to be pure sine wave. I mean, you're running your freezer. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is my advice. I think off grid and the word frugal should go together. Because when if the shit hits the fan, or if we go to the end of the world as we know it, what do they call it, walkie, something like, I don't even know how to pronounce it. um you're not going to be looking for, yeah, imagine yourself in an apocalyptic situation trying to get an inverter. Oh no, but no, I want a pure sine wave one, yeah, because they're more efficient. I mean, you're not going to find yourself saying those words in a shit down scenario. Oh no, no, no! I don't use modified sine wave inverters. I only use. Oh no! I don't use lead acid batteries. Oh, I only use the lithium with the BMS. Well, I only use Battleborn. I mean, really, the reality is, in a shit down scenario, you're gonna grab whatever the hell is available to you. You're not gonna give a damn if it's lead acid, if it's lithium, if it's AGM. You're gonna want that shit to work. Even if it works at an 80% efficiency, that shit works. So that being said, guys, I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this, but if you broke, go the frugal route. Get yourself a freezer, a good freezer. Buy it new. I mean, I believe in buying. Some you can get used, but freezer is something that you're gonna rely on, and you want it new. You want it new. You don't know what the previous customer has made it go through. So you buy a new freezer, fill it up, for end of the world, and you run it, man. You run it. Um, Honestly, like I said, I use an inverter, and I mean, it's so minimal. The difference between what you waste using an inverter on an off-grid application, it's so minimal. It just does not justify spending $800 on a 12-volt freezer when you could save $500 and get a regular one and have a cheap $40 inverter. You know what I mean? Counterfeit says that is a very good point. You will look for whatever you can and get the job done. Exactly, and that's the problem that I have with a lot of preppers online. And they have an idealistic, utopic way of looking at living off grid or whatnot. But the reality is, in a shit hits the fan scenario, you're not going to be thinking about getting all the ideal things. And to all those lithium purists out there, I got to tell you guys something that you're not thinking about. You guys are not thinking about. You're all walking around talking about, oh, Battleborns or these lithium batteries, right? One of these lithium batteries, if you buy them, even the cheaper ones that are 100 amp hours, you're talking from 500 to $900 for one battery. Now, lithium is great. I have no problem with lithium, but the problem with lithium is this, and it has not been addressed by anybody. A lithium battery has a circuit called a BMS. That BMS regulates the charge so that all of the cells charge evenly. But it is a circuit, it's a circuit board. Now, in an EMP situation, that circuit board will probably fry. So then you're shit out of luck, because then you're in a shit down scenario with some brand new lithium batteries and the BMS burned out. Now, I don't know enough about lithium to know if they work without the BMS, but I'll tell you one thing. I know that I'm pretty sure that a lead acid battery, after an EMP, it'll still have some power. I could still light some stuff up. So, I mean, if you want to, a lot of people criticize um, lead acid batteries. Recently I saw a YouTuber, that does solar. He was criticizing lead acid batteries. You better hope that you don't get an EMP and all your little fancy little BMSs don't burn the hell out. And then you're gonna be looking in the cars. Then you're gonna be wanting to find any car battery that'll work. So I'm sticking with the technology that is 100 years old, which is lead acid battery. Probably not the best, but it works. I mean, that's my philosophy. That it works. It works. Um, I've had my batteries since after Hurricane Maria. They're still running strong, no issues. Now, I'm very careful with them. I don't overcharge them. I don't charge them too fast. My system is measured, so based on my system, I'm only charging at probably a 10% of the battery bank's capacity. They get a full charge every single day. I don't bring them down. I mean, I rarely bring them down to 50%. Generally, I bring them down to 25%. But they're working perfectly, and they're lead acid batteries. I haven't had one issue with these lead acid batteries. So, I'm just letting you guys know, they've been there forever. They've been there forever. So, I mean, we're in these situations. We got to start thinking practical, guys. And so just to finish off, all right, this is the freezer. Hold on. That's the freezer. It's a Frigidaire freezer. I don't know what the model number is, but that's what it looks like. All right. Um, 5 cubic foot, 120-volt unit, regular house voltage. All right. Ice. I mean, it's got meat, solid. Everything is solid. Um, totally cool. I wake up in the morning, my battery bank is still practically full. Um, and I'm running that off of this little 1,000 watt power inverter. I got this one at Advanced Auto Parts, and it's a modified sine wave. It's not a pure sine wave, and it handles that freezer perfectly. When I wake up in the morning, this is my battery bank. Right now, I mean, the sun is out, still 13.4. You know, but during the day, I mean, when I wake up in the morning, even after it running all night with the freezer, I'm still at 12.4. And everybody knows that 12.6 is a full battery. So counterfeit says plus temperature too cold. Oh, hold on. Too cold or too hot will kill a lithium battery. Lead acid will work regardless of temp. Yeah, lead acid batteries are are very forgiving. Lithium are good, but it's the whole temperature situation you're talking about. Especially if you live somewhere cold. I think the cold is what really kicks the lithium's ass. Um, so I mean, like I said, lead acid batteries, that this is they've been around for 100 years. You know what I mean? So we already know what to expect from a lead acid battery. We already know the kinks. We already know about the sulfation issues. We already know how to deal with them. We already know that we should have desulfators. We already know. I mean, we know so much about lead acid batteries to maintain them properly and take all the preventative measures. That's like Old Faithful right there. Lead acid batteries, man, they're cheap. They're cheap. They mess up, you just go to Advanced Auto Parts or Pep Boys or AutoZone and just get a new one, or Walmart. You know. So I know the solar purists, they hate me. They hate me because I'm not here trying to impose a purist agenda. I'm just here telling people, how to survive. The shit hits the fan, and waking them up from this little solar utopia where everything has to be pure sine wave, and the batteries have to be lithium, and the charge controllers have to be Outback, or everything expensive. Come on, man. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, man. This is about survival. Survival, you know? So anyways, guys, that's my advice. I'm not talking out of my ass. Get a regular freezer. Save your damn money. You know, save. You know, a 12-volt freezer is gonna cost you 800-900 bucks. Just get a regular damn freezer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just gonna freeze your food anyway. You know, and if there's an issue with inefficiency, just get an extra solar panel. It'll cost you 50 bucks. There you go. Now you're at the same efficiency as a 12-volt freezer. You know, um, that's it, man. That's it. So, let me go as far as saying, all right, with with what with what you're gonna save buying a regular freezer, you could actually buy two of them for the shit that hits the fan scenario. So instead of buying one 12-volt freezer, you'll have two free. You could keep one in the box. There's a saying in the prepper community is two is one and one is none. You know, two is one and one is none. So right now, I should get another freezer just to have it saved up. You have two of everything, you know. So actually, but I do have another freezer. I have a different one. I have the Alpicool. That is a little 12-volt fridge, and I have my regular, you know, mini fridge. So you know, so I actually have three ways of refrigeration. Um, but you know, that's just my advice, guys. Like I said. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, you know, please share and subscribe and put the little thumbs up and smash that little bell. I've always wanted to say that. Smash that bell or smash that like button. People say that the whole smash the like button, but y'all know the drill. You know. So all right, take care. I'm out of here. Ruben Obed. Peace.